In the last couple of days, the AI video generation scene has been out of control, and it's seemingly 10x'd overnight with the release of Google's VEO3, Cdance, Huilao 2.0, Kling 2.0, WAN-GP or WAN-GPU-4, which is what it stands for, Framepack F1, and we pretty much all forgot about Sora, right, after VEO3 came out. But perhaps the most significant release, in my opinion, occurred more recently with the release of MidJourney's video generation, which turns out to be pretty amazing. And I have no doubt that it'll eventually dominate the video generation scene after learning from all of us spamming our crazy random AI video creations for MidJourney to train their models with. MidJourney's videos are already some of the best I've seen in natural movement, smooth animations, coherent camera actions, and hands down the best in bringing surrealism to life. Now, I said video generation, not movie clip generation, which is an important distinction because it doesn't generate sound the way VEO3 creates an entire movie clip with voiceovers and background sounds and everything that you would need for a ready-to-go clip to put on YouTube or wherever you're going to put it. And yes, I said MidJourney can now create beautiful animated videos. You heard me right, which MidJourney has always been known to be an AI art only platform. They've been working on video for a while, but they finally came out with it, and it's a very refined product. And for all the AI video enthusiasts out there, you'll be happy to know that MidJourney costs much less than the options out there, than the premium options like VEO3, and MidJourney has an unlimited plan, which you could spam away to your heart's content, which is pretty awesome. And I will say that's going to help MidJourney in the long run as well. The fact that there's an unlimited model and people are spamming away, this gives a lot of good training data for MidJourney, which is probably not what you can say for some of the other generators that are very limited. Now, Google's VEO3 is all the rage right now because it basically creates an entire movie clip. You might have seen a lot of those Yeti blogger videos out there and glass fruits and crystals being sliced up for ASMR videos. They're going viral right now. Most of those videos were made with VEO3 or Cdance 1.0. But it's very important to recognize that those tools are very limited to a certain amount of generations that you can create, and they are not cheap. In this video, we'll go over some examples of the new MidJourney video generation tool, and you'll see some community videos playing in the background right now, and they're absolutely stunning. We'll also compare it to other tools, go over the prices between the different options, which the price range right now is like outrageous to absurd with these video generators. I guess it depends on who you ask, but to me, it's pretty expensive either way, and my wallet is definitely losing weight, and there is a hole where the money used to be. Just a little preview here. VEO3 is $250 a month, and you only get like about 120 8-second quality videos per month on that, and 40% of those movie clips are probably going to fail, which Google is totally going to charge you for. That's bougie as hell, but I still had to try it out to see for myself if I can create a video of glass fruit cutting ASMRs, which here it is. Ah, that's so satisfying. I should just make a channel with just that, and it'd probably get more views than this one probably. By the way, if you're enjoying this video or you found it informative, please click the like button at any time. Likes are free. Alright, so I'm in MidJourney right now. I'm looking at the different plans here, and I have the Pro plan now, which allows me to do unlimited relaxed image and video generations. And that's very important that you know that it's relaxed, because you're gonna have to change it yourself, because by default it's gonna be in fast mode, and you don't want to spam away in fast mode because it's gonna go away really quick. But the cool thing is you can actually get away with using the standard plan and just generating with fast credits to make videos, which you can't do it unlimited with the standard version of MidJourney, but you can use fast credits. So the big takeaway here is for unlimited, you need the $60 plan and up, and you need to be doing it in slow generation. The $38 plan is also a good option to do both image generation, and you can do fast generation of the video generation. And the basic plan is not good at all for video generation. You'll probably make like 10 videos before you cap out, so I wouldn't rely on the basic plan to make videos. Now, when you go into create, you just have to look at one of your older pictures here, and you have a couple ways to animate it. And you can see it's already popping up on the screen. You can just click animate here, but it's going to do the automatic animate, which means that MidJourney is going to choose how it animates it for you. You can't specify what's happening, but if you click on the image, you'll get a little bit more options here down at the bottom right. You see in the bottom right here, it says animate image, and you have auto and you have manual. So auto is definitely what it sounds like. It's MidJourney choosing for you what it's going to do based on what's already happening in the picture. And you have low motion and high motion. Now, one thing you want to do before you spam away is go here to settings and make sure that you're in the relax setting. There's nothing wrong with using the fast setting, but you're going to run out really quick with fast credits. I would only use that when you're kind of getting your final image, and use the relax setting if you're not in a hurry and you're just kind of trying to make some concept art. And what I've noticed is that in the fast mode, it takes like 10 to 20 seconds. It's really quick. And then if you're not in fast mode, it takes about a minute or two, which is really not that long for video generation at all. And it's some of the fastest video generation I've seen. Since I got limited, I'm going to click the low motion and the high motion in auto. And so that's automatically going to create a low motion video and a high motion video, which if you hover over here, I'll tell you exactly what that is. But the word kind of describes it anyways. But it just basically has a little bit more coherency in the low motion, but you know, it's going to be more of a slow motion shot. And then of course the high motion, you're going to have more camera movement, and it's going to be more natural with the movement. Now your next option here is manual, and you can click low motion or high motion. So I'm going to go ahead and click on high motion, and you notice at the top here that there is now a prompt. I'm just going to erase the prompt and then put what I want to happen. The one cool thing about MidJourney is that it's very consistent, and you can use consistent characters as well as the Omni reference, and then it's very good at making consistent scenes. And you can expand the 5-second video into 20 seconds, which means you can expand it 4 times, which if you didn't know, they're limited to 5-second videos. And as you can see, I got a bunch of videos that are just queued up from this picture right here. So just to recap, you need an existing picture. You can upload one or you can create one, and then you animate it. And another way to animate an image is to right click on it, and then you have the animate options here for the auto, low, high, and manual low and high. And if you didn't know, MidJourney has an Omni reference feature. So if you click on this image upload feature here, you can click on Omni reference and then select an image below that I just kind of dragged into this place here. As you can see, the picture is now here for an Omni reference. Now I can type in what I want to imagine, and I'll put the girl's cooking dinner. Earlier I put she was in the park, and I'll show you that as well. And I'll click generate. Now let's take a look at the one I did earlier where she's in a park, and you can see here that it's pretty good with the consistency with the Omni reference, which is very important to create these scenes and images with Omni reference so you can get a consistent video and perhaps get a full movie going. And the fact that it's unlimited, I might even try it. And so MidJourney is really the best in my mind right now for usefulness for what I want to do. Now I took the liberty of animating these images, and the cool thing is that there's 4 animations per image, which is pretty nice because one of them's usually always good. Now here's another one of her sitting down. I animated that, and these are actually all good. And here's the image that I used earlier of the girl, and she's cooking, and it did an amazing job, and it looks exactly like the image that I provided it, which by the way, this is an image that I got from Suno AI that I threw into Artistly using their type of Omni reference feature, which is their consistent character, and it does an amazing job as well. Created this character and turned the original anime character into a Pixar character, which I brought into MidJourney. So this girl has come a long way. So I'm going to animate each one of these images just by hovering over the image and clicking on animate. I'm just going to choose the default animation, and just like that, I'm going to have 16 videos, which with VEO3 I'd probably be capping out pretty soon. Like within 5 minutes I'd cap out. It's pretty expensive. I'm kind of scared to use it even though I paid for it. Now let's take a look at the Mage character that we created earlier and all the different videos that we have of her. So here's the original image, and here's the first 4, and this one looks pretty amazing. Here you can see her casting the spell. It's in low motion, I assume. And if you look at the side here, you can see if it was motion low or motion high. And so here's the difference between motion low down here. And if you look up here, it's motion high, which is more natural movement, quicker, and pretty amazing, but less consistency. You see here the lightning's kind of going crazy. Down here it's moving slower, a little too slow in some scenes, but it's a little bit more consistent. Now to extend it, you just have to click on extend auto or right click and extend it. Then you can choose either auto or manual mode. Now moving up, I have a manual animation here, and I asked the camera to move back and the sky to get darker. Now if you can see here, the camera definitely pans back, but the sky, I can't really tell if it gets darker or not, but it definitely does a good job at what I asked it to do. And if we were to add some sound effects to this would look pretty amazing. Okay, and our videos are done, and it took about a minute. And so let's look at the first one, and this is perfect. This is a very good animation and one of the best I've seen so far. And this one's even better. She has a little bit more emotion. She's laughing here, smiling. She's having a lot of fun creating her food. And take a look at this one. Kind of looks like the first one. She's kind of talking to herself. These are all good. These are all amazing. So it's not just one video was good. All 4 videos that it generated were very good. I would love to see a generation where the 4 videos were kind of extensions instead of just the one video. So you can have an extension 1, 2, 3, 4 all in the same generation. But since that's not a thing, I'm going to extend this one 3 times. And here is the final result of the extension. So the automatic extension is not that great. I was able to extend it to 21 seconds, but it just seems to kind of replay, and she kind of grabs the spoon over and over and just does the same motion over and over. I've seen other examples where it's a little bit more coherent, but this one, it just kind of seems to do the same thing over and over. Now, this next one, I did a manual extension, and I kind of guided her through each part of the clip, and it had much better results. And so you can see a fire starting when she walks away and she jumps back in, and some of them, it's a little weird that she kind of walks by and doesn't do anything, and in one of the clips she jumps in. But other than that, it's actually a really good clip all the way up to 21 seconds, and there's still one that's a little bit non-crazy, but it did a good job. Now here's some of this pin art that I created, which is kind of like the Microsoft Clippy guy here, and then I extended them and I created videos out of them here and separated the background to create the little animation in the beginning right here, which you might recognize this one right here. But it did a pretty good job for animating. You could actually turn this into a GIF by clicking on the image, right clicking, and then downloading it as a GIF. Now I created a little picture of a boy raised by wolves and animated it, and the results were pretty damn good. You can see right here, and here's some other pictures of the little boy running with the wolves. And here's the last one right here, and I don't know why this video is not moving. Now here's like a cutscene from a video game inspired by some dark fantasy game, MMORPG stuff, and you can definitely create your little trailer here or the CG cutscenes in between the actual game. But if you didn't know, there's some tools that actually reverse engineer video sound effects. So you'll give it the video and it'll give you the sound effects. So the opposite of what we're doing right now. Some of those tools are like Foley Crafter and Vision to Audio. Those are 2 examples of tools that can do that. Now the samples that I've seen are pretty rudimentary, but it can do the job. And hopefully now it's a lot better than it was a couple months ago. But another really good option if you want to do like free video generation similar to MidJourney for absolutely free, and you have a video card with over 8 gigs of VRAM, you can actually use Framepack, and I did a video on that, and they've actually had a recent update. Now it does take a little bit of a while to generate, like 5 to 15 to 30 minutes depending on how long you're trying to generate a video, but it'll do a video up to 30 seconds or more depending on your hardware, and it's really easy to install, and I have a video of that in my description. If you're interested in getting some free AI video generation, all you do is give it an image and tell it what you want it to do, and then it'll animate it just like MidJourney does, but for free. Now I will say the results are hit or miss, and sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're a little bit incoherent, but it's absolutely free, so you can go try it out, and it's a very easy install. So my final thoughts on the MidJourney movie generator is this is a movie generator that I can get behind at an acceptable cost with the ability to experiment and generate unlimited videos. I think the quality of this video is on par with VEO3, if not better, especially when it comes to the surrealism and character consistency. VEO3 kind of lacks in that department, and even if you give it an image to generate a video, it doesn't give you audio if you do it that way, and it doesn't seem to like copying the picture that you gave it. And so consistent characters in VEO3 has not been kind to me and hasn't been working well. Now at the end of this video, I'm going to leave you with a few MidJourney video creations that I liked and favorited. And if you like this video, definitely show your support by giving me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more things like this, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.